I'm going to go straight to it. Action-packed. Nadal's out. Barty's out. Federer's out.
Everyone's out.
Halep's out. And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. I'm very upset. Barty was my pick to win for the women's, and Nadal was my pick for the men's. And
I thought we were going to have a bigger build-up for this.
No. It doesn't deserve a build-up. We need to get straight to it. And I'm very upset.
The big headline.
No, it's just Barty.
They're taking down the banners now. The Barty party is finished. Let's take down the
Barty party, mate.
The
police have arrived.
The balloons are being popped. The bubble's gone.
No, I'm just
Barty's over. Unfortunately, Ashley Barty out, mate. And what do you have to say on this matter? Now my girl Kenin steamrolled her.
Well played.
Mate.
You've done me, to be fair. You did say Kenin at the start.
Kenin, outside pick.
What a pick that is to make the final. No one saw it really coming.
Didn't put a bet on it though, did I?
Where should we start? Should we start with Kenin?
Let's start with it, yeah.
Yeah, so go on then, take it away. She's your girl.
Well,
your tip.
My tip. Sofia Kenin, well done. Proud of your girl. Made it past probably the toughest competitor against 20,000 fans in that stadium. And from the looks of your performance, I think, well, incredible. She was just hitting the lines. She was attacking the net. She was serve volleying. She just was. Her approach play was just amazing.
Got it done in 2 sets.
Yeah. Well,
imagine that.
I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be a fight. I thought Barty would at least grab 1 set.
Well, Barty had the opportunities. Like I didn't watch it. I was asleep, but I saw the point by point. And Barty had so many different opportunities to break back. And the way I've sort of the match has been portrayed to me is that the fact that Barty had her opportunities, but she didn't take the big moments in the match. And Kenin played it really wise. Like, she was very smart, and she's only 21 years old. This Kenin. She's never reached this far in a Grand Slam ever.
No. First Grand Slam final.
Yeah, so for her to be able to... I don't think she even really entered many, mate. She's only 21, so, like, for her to be able to do this, and the way she played was... it was very smart tennis. That's what it was described as. So she was just playing extremely smart points.
I would agree with that.
The crucial points, she was playing it right. She clearly had studied Barty's game as well, which was really good for someone of that age. Actually, no, it's impressive. It's really impressive. Really and now, you reckon she can win it, or...
I wouldn't have picked her otherwise, would I?
I think it's only fitting if we talk about who she's going to be playing against to see if she's actually going to be able to win this.
Well, that's right. And look at the other performance too. Amazing performances.
Ridiculous,
you had Garbine Muguruza.
Both underdogs then, really.
Yeah,
right?
Both underdogs.
Both weren't expected to beat their respective semi-finalists.
No, but then Garbine Muguruza through. She just outplayed.
She's no mug. She really isn't.
She isn't, but it wasn't a walk in the park for her. It wasn't a walk in the park because she came up against tough Halep. Halep was in probably best form she could have been in.
Yeah. Halep is firing on all cylinders.
And she had to come back, I believe, from a breakdown.
Yeah.
And then she got... I think she was a break-up.
I'm not sure exactly, actually, on this one.
I think
it might have been
serving for the set, and then Halep broke her back, and then they ended up going to the tie-break in the first, but...
Wow, no, it's incredible. Impressive. Really is good.
Well, what more can you say?
Well, no, she started the year... Sorry, what was you saying? Was you going to say something?
I didn't think you could have picked that final.
No. No one saw that coming.
So...
Literally, I remember must have been the start of 2020, probably more towards the end of 2019. She was playing Ziaz or something, and Garbine Muguruza was like 1.5s against. She was like, she was a brilliant player. I think she was. I don't know if she was world number 1, but she was very close at one point.
Muguruza?
Yeah, I think she
didn't she win Wimbledon?
She won. Yeah, she's won a slam. She's won a slam. I think I'm not sure exactly what slam she's won, but she's definitely she's done really well. She's got a. She's a very prestigious tennis player in terms of she's well known within the sport.
Yeah.
And she's just clearly not been reaching that level. I don't know if it's through injury or something to do in her personal life, which we sometimes don't really acknowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen that with Zverev, but we'll get on to that.
Well, yeah, we'll move on to him in a bit.
But yeah, so Muguruza, she's come into 2020 off the back of 2019, not really being that. She was very average, to be honest. She had the ability, but she dropped off massively towards the end of 2019. 2019 in general, and then 2020 she started it with 12 games 11 wins and 1 loss, I think. So it's pretty impressive.
And who do you think? Do you think she's going to be able to take out Kenin in the final?
She will be the favourite, I'm assuming.
I believe so.
Yeah, she will be the favourite. She's more experienced than Kenin. And the way she's been playing, I do fancy her now to beat Kenin.
Do you want me to throw you a stat?
Go on. Trying to be like me, yeah.
They've only played each other once.
Okay.
And that was in September last year.
All right. What surface? Hard?
Hardcore as well in Beijing. And Kenin got the better of her.
Yeah, well, mate, so that was the prime time when you would say that Kenin was a better player than her.
But then look at the scoreline of that match. Kenin 6-love in the first set. Lost the second set 6-2.
Wow.
And then 6-2 win in the third set. So
this is going to be, for me personally, this is going to be a closer affair. I don't see anyone doing 6-0 on the other player, for sure.
No.
This is going to be a tighter affair. Kenin, in theory, should be I think she is the better player on hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more her surface in terms of Muguruza. I feel like she's more clay, right? She's Spanish. She's a clay court player. I think she won the French Open, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's have a look.
Have a look. I'm pretty confident she won the French Open one time.
Oh, yeah. She's won both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it says she won the French Open in 2016 and won Wimbledon in 2017.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So she's won the French. She's brilliant. But she won Wimbledon as well. Never won anything on hard. That's what I was trying to allude to. The fact that she's not such a big competitor on hard. Kenin, she's come through the juniors. Everything was on hard.
Yep.
This is her surface. It's her bread and butter.
Typical American.
Typical American. She's young. She's going to be really up for it. It's not going to be an easy game for Muguruza, but Muguruza. But I feel like she will have the better of her.
Possibly. I think, being your first slam final is always difficult.
Oh, it's going to be daunting.
Saw what happened to Murray when he was in his first couple. Sometimes gets the better of you, but
for sure,
I'm not going to put anything past her on hard court.
Yeah.
She's
at the end of the day, even if she goes there and loses, she's got to leave this tournament feeling pretty pleased with what she's done. She's going to now enter the top 10 for the first time ever.
Wow.
So she's going to be considered in the top 10 women tennis players, which is no mean feat, as you know.
Does she have the power game to compete with Muguruza, though?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just think Muguruza's going to beat her.
It's tough to say. The final you probably expected was Halep-Barty, and now we've got the other two girls. Yeah. So
still disappointed Andreescu dropped out pre-tournament.
Well, Andreescu would have been both of us.
Because she would have been there to the end. Yeah, amazing.
She's going to take a lot of hard-court titles in her time, I think, but she's just right.
It's going to be interesting to see now how she fits into the mix. We've got Muguruza playing well.
Yeah.
It's good because we've got the French Open next, right? Will she be fit for that?
Is she really a clay court?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it'll be good. I think her game is she's a very good player. So I'm sure she'll be able to adapt. Like when you're elite like that, you're able to do that.
For sure.
But it's going to be an interesting one. If any of you have an opinion on who you think's going to win, just leave it in the comments below, and we'll see how right you are.
Yeah, moving on from the women. Big news. I know you're devastated about. Rafael Nadal is knocked out the tournament by Dominic Thiem.
Mate,
4 sets.
It's awful.
Very competitive affair.
Awful.
But, incredible.
We watched it together, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought Dominic Thiem, what a performance.
Yeah, he was incredible.
This guy's now. If you didn't know who he was before this, like if you were the casual fan, now you know who he is.
Yeah, he's bursting the scene.
So.
Mate, Thiem's been around for a bit. He's kind of due his moment now. I feel like he's come close in the French Open. He got to the final last year. He's always around. Like, mate, I think he's got to 4 semi-finals before.
I think what was shocking was just the power that he was trying to put in just to put Nadal away. He wasn't gonna get beaten this time. And he really
fully went for it.
Yeah.
Fully went for it.
So that was really impressive. I was really. Like his resolve, really. Normally, when Nadal's 2 sets down, you know there's a comeback on the cards.
They're quite similar players, do you not think?
Quite similar, but
in terms of like their athletic kind of nature, in terms of they're quite big hitters. The only thing what you've got, say, with Nadal more is the spin, obviously. Like
more spin. I thought Thiem's
more of a big hitter.
I thought he was a big hitter, but I thought he was quicker around the court. That's probably the age.
Yeah. It's going to catch up on Nadal, but
he's getting to some of those balls like at the net.
But you've got to be honest now. I know you're really like a massive admirer of Thiem, but do you think he was that much better than Nadal on the day?
Yeah, I really do.
I don't think there was much in it. I thought it was very similar in terms of
tie breaks, but
I think it was just very lucky. Like, I don't want to say lucky, but it was the big moments where he got more luck than
that's what makes you top
Nadal.
3 though. If you're the top 3, what's set them apart from all of the other players in all of the Grand Slams has been that extra gear. Like, you push them.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand the extra gear, but that's when you sort of start making winners at the crucial moments. So you're literally making winners. I don't think the team wasn't necessarily doing that on the big moments. On a few of the big moments I saw in the second set tie-break, it was a case of the fact that he literally, one of them we just about hit, he just sliced the top of the net. One of them where...
a hater.
No, there was a lot of... Nadal missed the line by about this much. It was very fine margins, and I feel like on another day, the same shots would have just creeped inside, or he would have just hit the base of the net, and that's it. Especially when you're in a tie-break, mate. Every point's like a break. Every point's a break point. You can say that with
any of the top players, though, because when it's going for you and you've got the confidence and you've got like the shot-making ability, stuff does go. You make your own luck a little bit in tennis.
Yeah.
Like he was going for everything. He's due a bit of luck. I think he's probably, when he played Nadal last time, probably got a few net cords against him.
I think it's really telling though, listening to the interview afterwards from Nadal, and he was like, "You don't think he could have given much more?" He wasn't disappointed in his performance. He played well. Thiem played well. It was both a very even affair. And I know Thiem won 3-1, but he won literally off 3 tie breaks. His 3 sets were all 3 tie breaks, and a tie break, mate, in this sort of level could. And I watched all the tie breaks. Yeah. They could have gone either way.
They could have done. Well, the first one, no. I think
first one, I think what was it, more comfortable?
I think it was a comfortable one. The first one, he came out the traps.
Yeah. He played well that whole set, though, I must admit.
And when Nadal
but saying that, though, Nadal was serving for the set. Yeah. He was 5-3 up. Well, it was a deuce, 5-3.
It was 2 points. Both the sets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was just... what I thought what Thiem had more than Nadal on the day was he dug in. So when he was down a few breaks and opportunities where other players, they sort of take their foot off the pedal a bit, they start playing more passive because they're scared. They're already down the break.
That's what Murray used to do.
Yeah, a lot of players will though against these top, especially like a Nadal sort of figure. You're up and down a break. All you want to do is try and keep in the match.
Doesn't work.
Maybe hope you get an opportunity. What Thiem looked at it was like, you know what? Now I'm going to go back at him and try and get that break back, and it worked for him.
I think that's what the top players are used to. Other players just hoping they're having a dip in form, so they make a mistake, and then they're going to make another mistake, and they'll give them a set.
Prime example is Tennis Sangren. That's exactly what he did the round before against Federer.
Yep.
He was just waiting for Federer to make a mistake. He was playing like too passive, and then the occasions when he did do it, he picked the wrong shot to attack on.
Yeah, you pick the wrong approach shot, and then you're screwed against the top players.
Yeah, because they're ready for them moments. They live for the moments like that. That's why they're so good.
And he's now moving into the final. No, moving into the semi-final. Yep. Sorry, against another youngster.
Yeah.
On the scene.
That's the only thing I can really get up for, to be honest, is the fact that at least we're going to see either Zverev or Thiem in the first Slam final of the year.
What did you think about?
And how amazing is that really for young tennis?
Something we didn't mention on one of the other pods was the fact Stan Wawrinka was going for all 4 slams. He's already won all the other 3 slams. This is the only one he's not won yet. And that was going to be the Stan Slam. And then he could probably just retire after the tournament, I think. But unfortunately, Zverev, hadn't dropped a set all tournament and managed to get 1 set off him, but too strong. Yeah, no, too good for him. He's been playing well, hasn't he, really? Stan was really complimentary. He said he couldn't have played any better against him. He said just on his day, Zverev's unplayable, really.
Yeah, I put my hands up. It's another match I didn't actually watch. But
I saw some of the highlights, and it's just a case of Zverev. When he is on, I think he's he's got top 5 written all over him.
When he's on, he's the man. So, he was sort of tipped as the young guy coming through who's going to really do things. I thought
he was going to be the next number 1. And then when he won that ATP event in London, it just showed that he can beat everybody.
Yeah. No, mate, he's got the game. It'll be interesting to see how he does now against Thiem. I guess that's all set up now for a massive, spectacular semi-final.
So who do you think's going to win? That's the question.
Well, I know who's going to win. I'm not saying I think. I know who's going to win. I'm quite confident.
Do you want me to throw a few stats at you?
No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the stats.
All right, tell me before then.
No, go on. You say your stats. I've got plenty of good ones.
All right. Well, Thiem has a 6-2 advantage.
Okay.
In the head-to-head, and against he's won the last, I think, 3 matches against Zverev as well, which is pretty big.
Quite comfortably as well. The last one, 2-0, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't dropped a set the last 2 meetings.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. But this has been a Zverev up and down in form. You never know which one's going to turn up. Is he the one who just mopes about on the back of the court, or is it the one who's really going for everything?
The only thing I can say in favour of Zverev is the fact that this tournament, his level has been much better than the level I've seen of him in the past.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, he's playing now much better than what he did for the majority of 2019, which is really good to see. He started the season, he ended it quite well. He had what's the tournament they was playing? And the one at the O2. They had the O2 ATP finals.
ATP finals.
And he was playing well. He beat Nadal in that 2-0. I watched that match. He beat Federer, I think, in the ATP finals as well. Yeah. So he's ended the year...
Beat Medvedev as well.
Yeah, beat Medvedev, mate. He beat some good players. So he ended the year really strong.
Yeah.
He's then coming to the Australian Open in that same sort of form. And he's just kicking on. However, I say all of that, I'm going to be honest. That's why I say I know I was going to win. It's Dominic Thiem. Dominic Thiem, I think this now is his time.
Well, I have to disagree. I think it's the Germans' time.
Really?
I think...
Yeah, but why? You've just said that. You've just literally said the stats on their last few meetings.
Yeah, I don't.
So you agree with my thing about Zverev?
Don't believe stats, mate. Stats mean nothing really. When it comes down to it, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but Thiem's going to win.
Who's dropped the least sets in the tournament so far? Zverev.
Who's played harder opponents?
Well, exactly.
Thiem.
So he'd be more tired.
It doesn't mean that. It means he's played at a high level and he's able to compete.
He might have more confidence, or he might be thinking, "God, I got a little bit of niggle." And Nadal was pushing me all over the court in the last one. Where
he looked as fresh as a fiddle, mate. After that match.
Well, we'll see.
He was jogging off to his corner. He was over the moon, mate. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. That new haircut's done him wonders. And I can't wait to see Dominic Thiem. I wanted Nadal.
Zverev's going to come out with a skinhead, I reckon.
The way I look at it is, Thiem is Nadal 2.0. I don't know what I get. No, I just get that same sort of vibe.
The clay.
I just get. Yeah. It's a bit of that, and I get that same sort of vibe. So for me, I'm going to be 100% behind Thiem.
We're not playing on clay, are we?
I'm still going to be 100% behind Thiem.
I think it's going to be very close. We could see a 5-setter.
I'm going to be wearing my Australian flag wrapped around me for the final when we do our last pod just after the final.
Australian or Austrian?
Oh, I'm going to have my Austrian flag.
Party's out now, mate.
Party's gone. Austria.
You could support Saville and Purcell in the doubles.
Oh, God. They're doing well, aren't they?
Mate, they did very well. Knocked out old Dodig Polasek.
Yeah.
Favourites.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's impressive, yeah.
It's not often we get a little bit of
they
doubles.
They look the same as well.
Yeah, like twins. I know. So we got I think Zverev's going to do him.
I think Thiem. I'm repping Thiem all the way. I'm on Thiem's corner.
Zverev in 5.
Thiem in 4.
Thiem in 4. Okay.
Thiem in 4.
And there's a couple of statistics. If they were to go through to the final to face Djokovic, their records against Djokovic, each of them, is Thiem has won 4, Djokovic 6.
Yeah, I know.
And Zverev 2, and Djokovic 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, it's very close.
Make it an interesting...
In fact, if you're looking at all the players who entered, if you could pick out 2 players who have the best chance of beating Djokovic, you'd arguably say it's them 2.
Yeah.
Maybe Medvedev you'd throw in there. Maybe Nadal you could throw in there because he's able. Federer has not been competing against Djokovic.
Well, this tournament, they're definitely the 2.
For a long time now, Federer has not been competing against Djokovic.
Yeah.
So, for me, if I had to pick someone, it would probably have been maybe Tsitsipas. I'd fancy Tsitsipas to do well against Djokovic.
If he'd have got past...
Mate, I don't know what he was doing. We'll get onto that later for the end of the week. He's going to be up there as a contender, I'll tell you.
I know, they think he needs a haircut.
Mate, he needs more than a haircut. He needs a new coach.
New coach. New racket, new everything. But it leads us on, speaking about they're going to meet in the final. I'm sure you all probably saw it this morning or this evening, wherever you're watching from.
Yeah.
Djokovic, put out Federer. It was a little bit of a sad affair, really.
It was just, I don't know, like it was a poor, I didn't enjoy it.
Came out of the blocks. I was a bit surprised. I thought, whoa.
Yeah, he came out of the blocks, but
4-1 up in the first set.
But he was injured. He started injured, he ended injured.
And then Djokovic looked at his box like, I thought you said he was injured. It's 4-1 up. What's going on?
Djokovic was toying with him the whole time.
That was just Djokovic. Didn't look worried really the whole time.
In fact, Djokovic's game wasn't even that good. It was pretty poor. He played like 40-50%.
It was like, he hit, in the first set, I think, 4 winners.
Yeah,
something like that.
He was just cruising.
And
he wasn't even.
Federer hit about 20 winners, lost the set.
Yeah, no, he was just going through. Just going through the motions.
After that medical timeout, you just knew writing was on the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And fair play to Fed for finishing the match, though. He's not a quitter.
No, definitely not a quitter. And on that, I've got a little stat for you.
Oh God!
21 years Federer's been competing. He's never retired from a match he started once.
Wow.
So every match he started, he's never retired.
Well done, Roger. Model professional.
Yeah, no, that's just something he's always... So as soon as I saw he was injured and he's had a few medical timeout, I think it was after the first set, people are thinking, like, usually medical time, I think, maybe he might pull out, retire. Nah, there's no chance. He was always going to just go and lose the 3-0.
Like Tomic style.
No. Even Djokovic, to be fair, when he's injured, he pulls out.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him do it a lot.
Yeah, but I still think Nadal's done it a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure he has as well.
I think there was one against Murray, and I was always cheering for Murray against Nadal, and I think there was one Australian Open where Murray was leading him, but for the first time in a slam, Murray's finally, and he's like, yeah, I think you can have that one. Won't let him get the full recognition. Beat him.
Yeah,
that was their 50th meeting between the two of them as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised how close it's been over the years. I think it's because Federer must have had the better of him to start off with.
Yeah.
But right now, I think Djokovic has sort of got his number the last 4 or 5 years. I just don't think he's won the odd few. But when it comes to a slam, especially, Federer doesn't really stand a chance. If you're talking more like Cincinnati or Howe or some of the sort of ATP tournaments where Federer has been dominating, I must admit, the last few years, then obviously I think he's got more of a chance there. Yeah. If Djokovic is even entering them ones. But when it comes to a slam, Djokovic is the man. You can't really get close. And Federer, he's seen that today.
For sure.
Really has. So it sets it up nicely then for the final.
Yeah.
Djokovic Thiem.
Djokovic Thiem. Djokovic Zverev.
When they're watching it, it's going to be Djokovic Thiem.
Djokovic Zverev in the final.
Djokovic Thiem. Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be good.
But anyway, Djokovic and Kenin still going strong.
Hats off.
Into the final.
Hats off.
If only I'd have said that as the double from the beginning of the tournament. Bloody Osaka.
Mate, dry January is almost finished now, so I'll have to get you a pint if you get one of them.
Oh, mate. Dry Jan never started. Yeah, something quite interesting about the Australian Open Stadium as well that I was reading. Apparently they hold the International Fortnite World Championships at Arthur Ashe Stadium and this Margaret Court Stadium.
Oh, okay.
They have to take down all of the tennis, stuff, remove all the nets, remove everything, and then put up all these screens, and about 25,000 people come in and watch people play video games.
Now you say it, do you know where else they do it? In the US as well.
Oh, really?
They do it in I think it's the US Open Stadium, one of the main ones. They use that for esports as well.
Is it Flushing Meadow?
I think it's that. The Meadows one.
Meadows one.
Yeah. They use that for some esports as well. So mate, that's where the move's at the moment. I know you're hating on it. You're that older generation. But esports is the thing what's coming through.
I actually watched the video of them showing the live event. Actually, looks pretty exciting.
Mate, I watched it. I watched the Fortnite World Cup last year.
I was actually getting into, because there were so many people there. Everybody's in the crowd. They're like, oh, look at that guy.
There's a lot of kids. But
there's a lot of say adults.
Mate, the competitors are sometimes 14, 15 years old, mate. And
some competitors were 30.
Yeah.
They were in there. Did you realise that to win that, you win $400,000 for the win? And another stat. In the Australian Open,
stats today.
The Australian Open quarter-finalists get $500,000. So there you go. You can just play Fortnite and win that tournament.
Mate, Booger won a few million.
Wow.
Do you know who Booger is? He's the
idea.
solo Fortnite champion.
Solo Fortnite champion?
Yeah, he won it in solos. You've got different modes on Fortnite. You've got solos, duos, squads. And he won it for solos.
Wow.
So he's like dubbed as the best player in the world.
It's impressive.
Good player as well.
But his parents are proud.
Mate, they're gassed. They got that money.
Like,
they secured the bag early.
Go to your room and play more video games.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
But he's popular in school though.
Mate, he's popular with everybody. He's probably got a mansion. He's probably got TVs all over.
He's probably got a girlfriend already.
Mate, he probably doesn't have time for a girlfriend. He's probably just on the PS4 all the time.
She just comes and brings him dinner. While he's playing. Oh no, I didn't order that. Next.
Probably got his own personal chef, mate. He's winning 2 million.
Gosh, yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about tennis. Enough of this Fortnite
enough of
stuff.
Fortnite. Christ, don't get me started on this type of thing.
If you fancy, I'll give you a game later. We'll do some duos.
Oh, mate. I don't think I've even picked up a controller in years. I think FIFA's probably the only one. A bit of Virtua Tennis, mate.
I haven't played any tennis games.
Oh, mate, I used to be king on Virtua Tennis on the... I think it was PS3, though, back then.
We're on to PS5 now, mate. PS5's coming out.
Mate, that'd be good. Soon you won't even have to. You just put it'd be like one of those Black Mirror things.
Oh, yeah.
Just be like...
I like that episode.
It was just a little bit odd. I don't know.
I liked it. I thought it was funny.
It was quite funny, but it was
not even just funny. It was interesting.
Took a weird turn, though.
It did take a weird turn. I remember I spoke to you about it the next day. You was like, you wasn't really convinced.
Didn't know quite not what to make of that. I don't know, mate.
Mate, you'd love it if you could go in a different dimension. If there was Djokovic there.
Mate, if you could play tennis, I think if there was virtual reality tennis, that would be amazing.
Mate,
like,
I'd love
if they
that.
invent that and then you can play. And
I'd go on a clay court with Rafael Nadal and he just serves one down. I'd just hit a return.
If you could be
off
like
the line.
in the middle of a Wimbledon centre court, and then you put that on, and that's where you are, and you get the full feeling. You see all the fans. You see. I don't really want Djokovic up, so I won't win the point. Maybe somebody like, I don't know.
Like someone bad.
someone like you on the other end. There you go.
No, I'll beat you, mate. I'd wreck you.
Maybe.
I don't know. Who would you want the other end?
No one
Riley Opelka.
No one professional, mate.
God.
Yeah, so I can't return a serve for the whole match. No. Probably want somebody from the old days, mate. Give him a wooden racket.
Boris Becker could still beat you now.
Oh, mate, they could all beat me now. McEnroe's still playing, mate.
I've actually got a really interesting topic. It's quite big. The name's João Sousa. Do you know the story?
I heard it keeps coming up, this name, João Sousa. And I know him from actually, he was an amazing tennis player. And he was playing so well, then just turned really bad. All of his results I was monitoring. I was thinking, what's happened to him? Just fill us in.
So let me explain. Are you talking about the right João Sousa? Because there's 2 João Sousas here.
There's 2 João Sousa.
So
there's a Pedro Sousa and a João Sousa.
There's 2 João Sousas. I think we're talking about a different Sousa.
A different Sousa.
The João Sousa with the Z has now been banned for tennis for good.
So
never allowed to compete ever again.
Oh.
He's been part of some fixing, corruption allegations, and they've actually been proven true. He's been deleting a lot of his data off his different hard drives and stuff. It's very dodgy. He's been fixing matches and not playing at his best, and opponents not been playing at their best to accommodate win-ins and stuff like that. And now he's been banned for life. So it's good for the sport. We don't really need that in the sport.
Yeah.
It ruins it. I hate it. And I'm glad they're actually clamping down and making an example of people, because if they're going to do it, they should be banned for life. There should not be like a 2-year this and 1 year that.
If you're match fixing, it's terrible.
They suspended him for about 8 months. And they've just been like pending investigation, and now the investigation's been concluded and he's been banned from tennis.
Well, people like Murray have been going on about this for years.
Yeah.
He's been very vocal about match fixing on the tour and just how it's ruining the game.
It's definitely happening. It still probably is happening.
Oh, for sure.
People are hiding it very well.
I've watched on YouTube a few videos where people have been actually speaking about, you can go to these betting exchanges, you can see suddenly when a million's put down on one particular match, which is like a complete nobody's playing, over in, say, I don't know, Uruguay or in Italy and some clay court where there's nobody watching the matches.
Yeah.
And then it's just some Italian guy on the court. No names named. It's just
no picture on flash
yeah,
scores.
I know, yeah, just
no face, no case.
yeah. So just throwing, and they're playing people just much higher ranked, and then they're getting beaten like 6-1, 6-love. It's just so obvious. It's blatant. It's blatant, and you just wonder what's going on behind the scenes there.
But the thing is now, it can be so subtle where you'd never know. Like, it can be on point. You can bet on each point. So all they have to do is maybe just lose that 1 point. And how easy is it to fluff a point?
Well, I've always wondered.
Do you know what I mean? Literally, you just have to it's so easy. You can
miss something easily. Can't
exactly. So if you just lose a point, some people can make about a few £1 million off you losing a point.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying. So it's hard to ever really regulate it.
Well, I think it's a little bit dodgy sometimes when I notice higher ranked players sometimes playing in lower ranked competition, and they seem to lose the first set
then win,
then win the match easily.
I don't know what the tactic is though. Like, I've thought about that myself, but like, it's hard to know really we don't know what's going on really. A lot of it's speculation. Like, sometimes they can just have a bad game.
But we've noticed.
But there's definitely definitely right. It's still in the game, 100%. With technology nowadays and the accessibility to bet and gamble and how many markets there are.
Well, there's just not that much money in lower ranking tennis either. If that's your career,
all they need is some little mafia boss come up to them with a briefcase and be like, oh yeah, I can do your little deal, sort this out, lose that next point. Mate, most of them will sign up.
Well,
they come from nothing.
If you're playing in a tournament which is like an ITF or something like that, and then your maximum you can win maybe is like a couple of grand for the tournament, and then
but do you think it's happening in the ATPs as well?
It probably is happening across the board, to be honest.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I think it's happening all over, because at the end of the day, ATP they might win a few thousand or even 100,000 if they do these things. Well, never really 100,000, maybe like 40,000 is like a top big ATP thing.
Well, I think we've seen some people
you can make about 10 times as much.
They've lost to people who are like 6-1 against them. Like, people are.
Yeah, but the thing is that can happen, so it's hard. That's not necessarily meaning that they're fixing it. Like,
it doesn't necessarily mean it, but it's.
The person fixing it could be the guy, who's the underdog in the match, and he wins, but he's literally paid off the other guy to not play so well. It can be the other way as well.
It can be any way, but
that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter which way it is. It's
wrong.
Wrong, whatever.
And on this podcast, we don't want any of it.
No cheating. No fixing.
But just to lighten the mood a bit, João Sousa.
João Sousa.
The actual João Sousa. The one who's quite good. No, the one who's good now. He's come out on Instagram and he's been like, mate, I'm getting all this hate mail. People are saying I'm cheating. It's not me. My name's with an S, not with a Z.
Oh, the other João Sousa.
The other João Sousa who's innocent is getting all this hate because people think it's him. So he's come out on one of his Instagram stories to clarify the fact that it's not him.
And what we'll do is we'll post a picture now. This is the João Sousa that's been cheating.
And this guy's innocent, so leave him alone.
Yeah, leave this João Sousa alone.
I think we're pronouncing it
and
right.
We like this João Sousa because this João Sousa, amazing player, but that was the one I was speaking about. Dropped off form a little bit.
He's not been playing very well.
I thought you were.
I knew you was talking about the wrong João Sousa.
I thought you were going to say you had some sort of bad injury.
Mate, you just like all the haters, aren't you? You just see the name João Sousa and you jump on the hate. Can't wait.
I didn't even know there was any hate. You just brought the hate.
Funny enough, though, that this João Sousa has been banned. He was actually quite good back in like 2015. Well, he was like 60th in the world.
Well, he's 600th in the world now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's not in the world anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Get out.
No ranking.
Yeah.
Kaput. So we didn't do an L of the Week last pod. So let's get my L of the Week in now.
Go on then.
So I'll let you have a little think. So I'm not sure if you've even thought about who your L of the Week is.
No.
So I'm going to go straight off with Stefanos Tsitsipas. Pronunciation is probably not the best, but for me, he had so much. There was so many people who really thought he could go far in this tournament, and he's just not lived up to it. And I think that's ultimately down to himself in terms of he did not compete at the level. I'm not sure if it's due to preparation.
Yeah, maybe.
Whether it's to do with all the conflict with his dad and his mum and all that problems that was going on in the ATP Cup. But at the end of the day, this guy has got so much potential and so much ability. He's able to beat the likes of Thiem, all of them. He's got the ability to beat anyone on his day. For him, especially his record against Djokovic is like one of the best. It's just such a shame that he wasn't able to pull himself together to be able to have a better showing in this tournament. And I think he's really let down the side. doing that. So for me, L of the week, Stefano Tsitsipas. Disgusted.
Shocking.
Deserve it, mate. You've let me down. So much better than that. You thought of yours?
My L of the week, well...
It has to be the week, just of the last 2 weeks, so... Because we've not done one for a bit, so...
No,
the last L we had was Felix, I believe. And then in hindsight, Goldbiss actually turned up and started winning everything and everyone. So maybe he wasn't as big as an L as we thought, but you still get it.
He was very good.
Felix took his L, but he's passing the L on now. He's passing the baton. No?
Well, the person I was going to say that I have my L, I think, they played someone very good, but I was impressed with them in early rounds, which was Kontaveit. She came up against Halep.
Hey, I wouldn't give her the end of the week. She's just come as far. She's never been so far in a slam. She got to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals of a slam. Wow, how impressive!
Yeah, but the way she went out was a bit nothing.
Oh, come on, against Halep, mate. Halep's been on form.
6-1, 6-1. No. Come on, put a bit of effort in.
She put effort in, mate. Halep was just too good on the day.
Oh, come on.
Let's agree then. Tsitsipas wins it.
Go on.
Here he is. L of the week.
Tsitsipas.
Unlucky, mate.
Right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, follow on Instagram. Do all of that. And we'll see you for the final.
Semi-final.
And the final.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
Goodbye.